Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another edition of We Are Legion Live. Tonight, joining us, we have OrangeG. How's it going, man?
It goes pretty good. Getting used to the kind of backwards camera.
Yeah, I hear you.
There you go.
Go into your cam mic down there and click on the audio and make sure echo cancellation is clicked, because I can hear me coming back through your mic.
Oh, yeah? I can put on some headphones, maybe.
Yeah, that would help out, too. That's why I'm wearing mine.
Because I already turned off the echo cancellation. Is that
Yes.
better?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's why I wear my headphones, too, is because I was finding out that your audio was coming through and going back through my mic. And so why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Oh, yeah. So I'm a one-man DIY band. I've been doing this, I guess, formally since May. So I haven't been in this business for too long. I play lots of different instruments. I've been playing guitar since I was in fourth grade. Although it's not particularly impressive because I was really bad at practicing when I was a little kid. I do banjo, ukulele. I've been playing harmonica for probably 30 years or so.
Nice.
Yeah, thanks.
So where about are you located? Where are you based out of?
Yeah, I live in Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. That's right. I remember you telling me that. So I hope you're not a football fan and not watching the game tonight. I know that.
It's hard to not be a football fan in Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
I somehow manage it.
Yeah. My one of my exes, her grandfather lived in the Pittsburgh area, and we always talked about it back and forth. So, what kind of music do you like to play? I mean, what genre is your preferred genre?
Absolutely. I guess probably for about like the last 20 years or so, I've really gotten into probably 15. I've really gotten into like indie music and folk, Americana. I do like having some electronic aspects to what I do. Indie rock, and as a harmonica player and having played the harmonica so long, I have to also like the blues and incorporate some of that into my music as well.
Okay. Do you ever you mentioned you were a banjo player, oh no, my mind just went blank. We used to have in my hometown. We had a state park there where we used to have a festival every year. Where what did they call it?
Clawhammer?
No,
Scruggs?
yeah, something, yeah, like that. Where they would come out and bluegrass. Bluegrass.
Oh
That's
yeah,
what
oh
I,
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, because I've been out there a couple times. That's where I first listened to Ricky Skaggs play, was at that bluegrass festival, and so it's kind of neat to hear kind of all those different elements being brought into some music.
Oh yeah.
What are some?
I
Go ahead.
actually visited Tennessee when I was a kid. My dad had like a conference he was going to, and it was the World's Fair in Nashville, Tennessee. I think it was either Nashville or Memphis, and we like listened to a lot of bluegrass, and we listened to a lot of like bluegrass music in the car. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, and well, you saying you played the banjo was the only reason I brought that up, is because that's probably one of the major places where you're going to hear the banjo being played during bluegrass music and stuff like that. You mentioned that you consider yourself kind of like an Americana artist. We just had another artist on Kelly Kenter
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
that also is more of the Americana genre, and it's pretty interesting genre because of I really hadn't realized the amount of artists that are starting to claim to be in that genre now, and some some very well known artists too that are more drifting towards that way. And I was like, I can't wait to have this COVID stuff over with so I can maybe get out and see one of these Americana festivals and see what they're going on. I didn't even really know anything about it until I was listening to the radio one day, and I have satellite radio in my Jeep, and I was listening to an 80s and 90s country station, and they had Marty Stewart on there, and Marty Stewart was talking about being at one of those Americana festivals and how much fun they were. So I'm really looking forward to kind of checking one of those out whenever
I
we get
can't
out
wait.
of this lockdown.
Can't wait
Yeah,
for all the festivals and live music to come back. And
you and me both, brother, man. I've been chomping at the bit for over a year to see some live music, so I'll be glad to get out there and hear some live music again. Not that I don't mind doing live streams and stuff like that, but it's just not the same as seeing someone in person play.
absolutely.
So, who are some of your major influences from when you were younger?
Oh yeah, so I think one that's maybe a little surprising is Billy Joel. When I was a kid, we'd go on these long, long road trips, and that was like what my parents and us kids could agree on was Billy Joel, and so we like, I think that was like the first catalog that I mined, like somebody's like musical, legacy that like we went through. We had all the tapes, and we like listened to. I would sing to like every single one of those, like The Stranger and all those. So that was like a really early influence, and they also liked a lot of folk music, which is kind of interesting because I think I kind of gravitated towards folk later on. So like the Kingston Trio and the Weavers, and those were some of my favorites for those long road trips. And I definitely, whenever I go on a long road trip, there has to be music involved, so like all these podcasts and things. But yeah, I went through a heavy Beatles phase, a big Pink Floyd phase. I had a ponytail that went down halfway down my back in high school with Pink Floyd, and got into some of that prog music, King Crimson, and another big influence for me is David Bowie. I really got into David Bowie in college. More recently, I'd say a big influence for me has been Bright Eyes, Conor Oberst, kind of everybody in that Saddle Creek, Conor Oberst, atmosphere, like all around him, all the bands that kind of sprouted from his, from all of the prosperity he's had. So.
I was listening to your story about the long car rides when you're a kid. I can't even believe that you got to have a vote. When I got the long car rides when I was a kid, my father owned 3 cassette tapes. There was either Creedence, Clearwater Revival, ABBA, or the Coasters. Those were your choices. So I got to know all those very, very well. And even to this day, I can almost sing them without any type of music or stuff going on in the background. I know those lyrics by heart.
It's an
Just
interesting
from
collection for kind of dad music.
Yeah, well, that's what he had. I don't know where he got it, but those are the 3 that I can remember being on repeat over and over and over again. And really, it's great because actually now I have a good friend that I've met doing this show who is actually a backup singer for John Fogerty now. So the first time I had her on the show, she's been on a couple of times. I kind of fanboyed out and talking about John Fogerty and stuff like that. But yeah, it's pretty cool, and it actually helped me develop more of a wider range of an appreciation for different styles of music.
Absolutely.
and that was actually pretty cool. So you were talking about maybe doing a couple songs tonight and switching up instruments. So I'm gonna let you go ahead and play a song and
Absolutely.
do your thing, man.
Okay, cool, cool. Can I take these off? You think for playing?
I'll
Yeah.
turn my mic off and
Okay.
you'll be good to go.
All right. Let's see here. I thought I would. I'm gonna move this mic up a little. I'll mute it for a sec here. All right. This was probably one of the first songs I ever performed live, and thought it would be a good chance to kind of rock out. I wrote this well before the pandemic. You know, when the pandemic hit, I really realized just like how appropriate the song was. So it's a song about isolation, and I guess in my head when I was writing it, I always kind of had a bit of a zombie apocalypse feel going on there. Yeah, so this song's called Outpost. And is my sound coming through okay? Yeah, is that good? Okay. Before I had nothing but time, sitting around and waiting in line, and paying just to give it away, sweat and tears for weeks and days. Plants growing out of every crack, and they wave at me as I head back into the last little home where you can see lights are on. Outpost at the end of the world, sitting here with my dog. I don't know where they've gone, it's just me and my thoughts in this little home. Walking desolate grounds, there is nothing that I haven't found. Footsteps leave mud on the floor, I've been kicking stones that have been kicked before. The empty room wasn't always this way. Maybe not even today. Drop of fuel in some dried out tank. Lonely streets on a quiet Sunday. World's empty, I lament the sky, the desert suns and poison tides, clouds and nothingness lingering inside my head. It's been months since I've seen a soul, and I never thought I'd miss the people who used to only make me mad, and tired, frustrated, and sad. Outpost at the end of the it's Outpost. Yeah. Oh shoot!
That is very, very. That is very nice.
Thank you so much.
I don't know if you can see the comments or not, but everybody is really, really going off about that.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. That's awesome. Let's see. Do you want to keep on talking, or do you want me to play another
Let's go
song?
ahead. We can talk for a few, and then
Yeah, yeah.
we can go ahead. So, if you want to put your headphones back on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, everybody in the comments is doing great. So, I'm going to let you go ahead and tell everybody here what platforms they can find your music on and where they can follow you at on social media.
Absolutely. Yeah, so I'm going to be on, I'm always on Twitter. That's probably the easiest place to interact and chat. I'm at orange_G EEE, so it's three E's at the end there, and that was because the more compact, my actual band name wasn't available as just like a compact Twitter handle. But yeah, orange_G EEE. You can also find me on Instagram. So on Instagram, I'm OrangeG EEE1. Very unique name. It's really quite memorable. Just like sits right in the middle of your mind, just so easily. But it's what I had. It's what I was able to get. And there you can find some live performances. I do live streams on Instagram from time to time, as well as pictures of my dogs catching frisbees. That's like kind of what goes on my Instagram. And then to get my music, I'm everywhere. Distributed, so I'm on Spotify and Tidal and Apple Music and Amazon, and of course Bandcamp is the place if you really have the means and interest to support an artist, because most of the proceeds go to the artist. So I'm OrangeG, all one word, .bandcamp.com. Bandcamp also is the one place where my actual name and my URL match perfectly, so that's pretty nice.
Right on. You mentioned that you've been playing the harmonica for the longest of any instrument. By any chance, would your love for the harmonica came from those long car rides of listening to Billy Joel?
But really, from my dad. Dad
Okay.
had, yeah, here it is. My dad had one of these guys. This exact model, Chromonica. So it's the one that has the button on it, and I'm really bad at this whole reverse thing. But yeah, it's got the button on it. He had one of these, and I just started sneaking in and playing it a little bit, and he kind of taught me how to play Old Susanna. So that was that was my entryway into it. But yeah, I really started harmonica in high school. And guitar was my first instrument. So like I really attribute a lot of musical directions to my dad. He noticed that I was really into like seeing people play music when I was a kid, and so he was like, we have to get this guy lessons, and so he started me on guitar lessons when I was in fourth grade.
Nice. Well, he did the rest of us a favor by doing that, by getting you in to get because I really did enjoy that performance that you did there.
Well,
So
thank you so much.
you you've only been actually doing the music and stuff since May.
Yeah.
Is that like you haven't been able to get out and do any like live shows or anything? You've just been doing it on live streams and things like that.
Exactly. Yeah. So I before the pandemic, I had started like Outpost was the song that I just played was one of those songs that I had ready before the pandemic, and I was starting to like kind of get out of my shell a little bit and go to open mics, and so like maybe not even 2 years ago, I was starting to go to open mics and play. And before that, I was just abnormally shy. I was just like would not get up in front of people. I hate like being in front of people, being the center of attention. And so I was like trying to like crack that part of me and get better at you know dealing with the nerves and stage fright of being in front of people. And I wasn't quite there yet, but then when the pandemic hit, the open mic I was going to actually ended up going online and going virtual. And I was like, okay, I'm going to go to this. I haven't been to this in months, but I'm going to go to this. And it really just turned out to be like a super rewarding experience. It really helped me with my stage fright. And, you know, the people there are just like, you know, fabulous and have just been super supportive, especially the person that runs the open mic. Her name is Liz Victory. And Victory has been, you know, just super supportive. She was like, you know, you got a good mic, and you really should like, you know, try and get your music out there. Where can we find you online? She would say that after every performance. And so I put a track on Bandcamp and like started a Twitter account in May because she just kept on asking, and I was like, you know, I promise I'm gonna do this, you know, just to make you happy. And I just didn't realize like how much I would be rewarded by doing it. You know?
I mean, yeah, if you can get over the initial stage fright, the talent is definitely there. I mean, that song was incredible, and you did an amazing job. So, just getting over your fear of performing in front of people, the rest of it's there, man. It's all good to go. Even if you can't get over your stage fright, doing the live streams and getting your music and stuff out that way, putting it on YouTube, people are going to respond because it's really good stuff, man.
Oh, thanks, man.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, I'm a big believer that everybody has a ton of potential, and it's just a matter of being in the right nurturing environment to bring that potential out. You know, it's like
that's totally because I know what you mean. It's one thing sitting here talking to a camera and stuff back and forth and performing there than it is when you're actually out on a stage in front of people talking to people. I don't have any problems talking like this, but yet if I'm going to go give a speech or something to somebody, doesn't matter how well I know my material, I can feel the nerves and stuff inside, and just that little spot in the back of your mind is like, don't mess up. Even though you crush it, it's still there, you know.
I hear you, and I bet you would do better than you think you would do, because you've been doing these for a while now, and you know, like every one just takes you a little closer to optimal.
It does, and they have been continually getting better and better. But this is pretty much my talent. I never got the chance to play a musical instrument or anything like that, but I can talk.
Well, you're doing a great job of it. You know, like you know, I see out there. How many followers do you have now? You know, like
on Twitter, it's almost up to 18,000 now, and that's my second Twitter account. You see why it's Music Legion here, but everywhere else it's We Are Legion Music. Well, I had a We Are Legion Music Twitter, but someone reported me as a bot, and Twitter shut me down without even any questions, and I lost all my followers all at once. And I had to start back over from nothing last November, and so those 18,000 are just since November of 19.
Wow, that's crazy, and it's crazy that they can just take that away from you, pull the rug out from under you. You know,
apparently, it's not as uncommon as you would like to think, but yeah, and it pretty much all just started with a crazy idea. Originally, is helping artists such as yourself try to get their music out to let people talk, and then I started doing the daily streams, and once I started doing the daily streams, then that's when people really started to stack on and start following, and then I can't remember when we started this. It's probably like late September, early October when I got on there, and I was like, all right, what else could I do to help you guys out to try to get your music out there? And everybody was like, well, why don't you do a vlog? And I was like, well, if I'm going to do a vlog, why don't I just do a whole podcast and I'll feature an artist once a week? Well, once a week doesn't cut it anymore because there's way too many artists that want to get out here. And so I try to do as many of them as I can, and I try to work around the artist's schedule as much as I can.
Oh, that's awesome. And I mean, it's a huge service that you're doing. You know, I really
Yeah,
appreciate
and
that.
well, you don't have to appreciate me. I love what I do. I wish I could do it full time. I do it for the love of the music, and I know how difficult it is as an artist who doesn't have a major record label behind them, pushing them with lots of money. Doing all this stuff by yourself can become overwhelming, and anything I can do to help take a little bit of load off the artists themselves and help them spread the word about their music, I'm more than happy to do it.
That's awesome. I mean, so
But
many of us, I think, are screaming into the ether, you know, just trying to be heard, you know?
yeah, and that's exactly it. That's why I started the whole thing to begin with, is because I was sitting around listening to the radio and they were playing the same 8 to 10 artists over and over and over again. And I'm like, and I'm a big lover of live music. I was like, there is so many artists out there that are exceptional, and people just don't know anything about them. And why don't we just try to get some of them to get their music heard? And then as soon as we started, I had people DMing me, is like, how come I've never heard of these people before? I was like, well, you have now, so spread the word, you know. But again, the show's about you, not about me. So if you would like, why don't you go ahead and set up and do another song, or
Absolutely.
tell us a story, or whatever you want to do, man.
I'll play another song, and
Okay.
and maybe we can like connect back after.
Okay. Sounds great.
Move this thing here real quick. All right. Um, so this song, it just it just dropped on Friday, so it's a brand new one. The studio recording, and I recorded this one in the depths of pandemic. So it's a tune about time, and I think one way to think about it is, you know, have you ever been in one of these, you know, like a probationary job, a position where you feel like, you know, everybody's just watching you and judging you, and judgment is just, you know, impending. Um, uh, that's kind of the emotion that I was channeling on this one. I'm probably explaining too much about the song, but yeah, the song is called Orion Zero. Stand and draw an arrow knocked. It's 5 o'clock in the morning. Illuminate an empty street as I make my way to my new location. A hunt is on for that black swan. You chase it across the night sky. Arrows fly, but so this time it can't be stopped or bottled up. It
keeps on moving forward. Months go by, a switch in time. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. Identity, it's new to me. New shoes to walk in, new songs to sing. Compare notes and anecdotes of our elusive quarry and its unknown beauty. My arrow flies just like time, moving towards disorder, lost lullabies spent in the evening. Navigate and circulate several times around the sun. We meet in the morning for Judgment Day, where you will weigh my collected treasures. Did they bring you pleasure? What have you done, my prodigal son? Did you waste your time on friends and fine wine? But in the back of trucks, just looking up at your judge and jury. Stand and draw, you only get one shot at this life. I'll see you again in the morning.
And that's Orion's Arrow.
Nice, very nice.
Thank you so much.
And I love it so much that you incorporate the ukulele. It's very underused instrument in music.
Yeah, I really got into it like 5 years ago, and like ukuleles, like they're like sinusoidal. They come and go. I think they're on a low point. Well, I think Billie Eilish plays a ukulele. She's got like a signature uke, and so she's like brought it back a little bit. At least that's my out of touch adult view of.
And well, yeah, I don't know much about Billie Eilish's ukulele, but yeah, I mean, I have always been a fan of like Zach Brown Band, who their first album was heavy with ukulele and stuff in there because they did a lot of that Jimmy Buffett style. And of course, Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band is just outstanding. Actually, I got to like watch a concert. I think it was on like PBS one time where it was Jimmy Buffett and the Coral Reefer Band and the Zach Brown Band playing together in concert, and that was just insanely crazy. And but the ukulele kind of gives you that beach vibe, just kind of laid back, chill vibe. You can't listen to a ukulele and be upset. You just want to relax and just chill out, man.
I can definitely feel that, yeah.
And Stacy, thank you for showing up. And yeah, go ahead and brag that you've met Jimmy Buffett. Good friend of the show, Stacy. She's from Boston and she's an actress, so she has some famous friends, and now she's rubbing it in her face that she's met Jimmy Buffett.
Well, thanks for tuning in, Stacy.
Yeah. I once drank a margarita at Margaritaville, so there's Stacy. Nah.
I would say almost every Mexican restaurant has a Margaritaville like happy hour.
Yeah,
it's not like a thing. That's a meme.
Yeah, but yeah, I was actually at in Orlando at the Universal Complex, and they had a Margaritaville there, and that was where we went in, and we all had a margarita while we're sitting there, and they had a cardboard cutout of Jimmy Buffett, so we're all sitting there drinking margaritas with Jimmy Buffett, and that's about as close as I've ever been to Jimmy Buffett. But man, love his music. Love his music though, and so what brought you to want to try to incorporate all these kind of different, because the ones that you use are not instruments that you use are not really a lot that they use per se in mainstream music these days. The banjo, the harmonica, and the ukulele.
Yeah. Well, I think I wasn't even thinking about incorporating harmonica into my stuff until I got the holder. I've always been playing it, but the thing about harmonica is you have to have like a band to play with. Like you have to have people to jam with who are like-minded, that you aren't gonna like fight with too much or anything like that. And not that I'm like an argumentative person. I'm usually like the kind of person that just is a people pleaser. So it's like I'll just kind of let people steamroll me creatively. I never like quite like I had these harmonica chops with me the whole time. And I never really had an opportunity to use them. And then I got this thing, which is like the most amazing harmonica holder. It's like it really does a good job of stabilizing it. I tried it like way back in college, like one of those Neil Young ones. It's like really rickety, and like you try and do something. It's like you can't really get the precision that you need to like really rock out. And just like a few years ago, I bought this, and it changed my life, because now I can play the harmonica and the guitar at the same time. I don't need to like be in a band to do it. And you don't want to be like the harmonica player only in a band. Often like because then every song that you play has to have harmonica in it, and I wanted to definitely have that variety as well. The ukulele, I picked one up, and I was just surprised at how easy it is to play, because the tuning is actually exactly identical to a guitar. So it's like as long as you know all the chord shapes, you could play a ukulele, and it's only 4 strings. It's way easier. I got my daughter to play ukulele too, because it's an easier instrument to learn. Getting the strings to play right without like getting horrible thrumming sounds is a chore. I really like the way it sounds. I really like the gentle nature of it, and I like how compact it is. Easy to bring. If we go camping or something, we could bring a ukulele. It's really easy. I guess most of my answers are like I include these instruments because I can play them and it's pragmatic, which is perhaps not there isn't a grandmaster plan, but I really started listening to the Avett Brothers a lot, kind of like mid 2010s. I just really got into their album Emotionalism. I don't know if you've ever heard the Avett Brothers, but they're amazing.
No, but I will definitely check them out
Yeah,
now.
take a look. Yeah, it's like alt country Americana. It's Americana. But yeah, lots of banjo in that, and I was just like, oh man, I want to learn this banjo thing because this just sounds so cool. I like the twang of it, and my mother-in-law, best mother-in-law in the world, the only one I got me a banjo for Christmas one year, and really kind of got me on the path to like learning how to do it. And I was like, oh, you from.
Yeah, I mean, the only reason I was asked is because a lot of people play those instruments, but they don't try to like incorporate them together, and it's definitely not something that you more of the mainstream music these days, and usually it's not some instruments that you would find necessarily together. I mean, I know great harmonica players, I know great banjo players, and like you said, most people that can play a guitar or a banjo can play a ukulele. I mean, I can even kind of semi play a ukulele, and my niece has a ukulele, and every time I go see them, I'll strum on it a little bit and play around and sing them some tunes and have a good time with it. So yeah, it's very unique, and it's very interesting, and I like that style, and it's kind of cool. I was just wondering how you got it to come together like that.
Yeah. I think it's a lot of random circumstances that really kind of put it all, into one package. That by the time I really, like, I think there was like a COVID clock, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
it's like once the COVID clock strikes, the skills you have or you want to pick up are the ones that you're going to go with, and because I feel like a bunch of people got into music and making music and sharing their music in COVID because there was nothing else to do. And so, this is where I was when the COVID clock hit. Not that like, what might I try and pick up next? Maybe a lap steel. That'd be kind of fun.
Oh, you know what? That's another instrument that is kind of went by the wayside as of late. I mean, it was more prevalent in the '70s, '80s, and early '90s. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with throwing a little steel guitar in there with it. Those are and it's just pretty cool, and yeah, that would be very very interesting. I'd like to hear what you come up with if you learned how to play the lap steel and threw in some other stuff there with it, and just to see what you could come up with.
No, that would be a blast. Probably take me a couple of years.
It doesn't have to be perfect. I mean, you're on my show. I mean, I'm not perfect, so anything you do looks good compared to next to me anyway. So
I don't know about that.
but yeah. Well, we do have time if you would like to play another song before we wrap things up, or we can continue chatting, whatever you would like to do.
We could do another song. I love like this open mic thing has really got me into like performance mode.
It's your show. You want to play a song,
Okay.
you go right
Okay.
ahead and play a song, man.
Okay. I feel like I've given the world tour of instruments except for the banjo. Okay, cool. Oh, we'll do a banjo tune. All right, I've got my banjo at a kind of a special tuning because I've been working on a new song that is not ready for prime time. So back to All right. Yeah, so this song, this is probably the first one I wrote in pandemic, and I was feeling real crappy. The demands of work, the demands of just trying to have something to show for all your time spent and all your work. This song is about persistence, and it's called "The Dustbin," and it's out on Spotify and everything.
Fragmentary and broken, unpolished, unspoken. I feel like the corner of the room. I'm just waiting for the broom. This speck of dust is gonna linger betwixt the nail and the finger. It might not move the world. Do you really know what makes it spin and swirl? This speck of dust is gonna linger. They reach the top of the structure, sphere of silence punctured. Said what they had to say. They sent me on my merry way. The tyrants of the schoolyard. This speck of dust is gonna linger betwixt the nail and a finger. When it all goes to rust, didn't they know that everything turns to dust? This speck of dust is gonna linger. Spent years in reflection, reached a state of near perfection. Focus on the flaws and no applause. In the vacuum of introspection, this speck of dust is gonna linger betwixt the nail and the finger. It might not look like much, but didn't you know that everything came from dust? This speck of dust is gonna linger betwixt the nail and a finger. It might not move the world. Do you really know what makes it spin and swirl? The Dustbin. Yeah.
Very, very nice. Very, very nice. You know, you kind of make me just want to come hang out with you, just to have some drinks and just listen to you jam, you know, just on all these different instruments. I think it'll be just an incredible night, just chilling out, you know.
That's open mic night, man. That's what it's
Yeah,
all about.
and and just hanging out and chilling. You did an amazing job on all three instruments tonight. I really like the song choices that you chose to sing tonight. Why don't you go ahead and let everybody know about your links again before we kind of close things down?
Yeah. So yeah. So I'm on Twitter at orange_GEEE. So it's three E's. I'm on Instagram at OrangeGEEE1. And you can find me on Bandcamp at orangeg.bandcamp.com. And if you want to get a hold of everything that is OrangeG, you can get to my link tree. And my link tree is linktr.ee/OrangeG, all one word, ORANGEG.
Right on. We got some people over here that are really impressed with your work, and a lot of other musicians and stuff over here. I don't know if you've heard any of Three Mind Blight stuff, but they're trying to convince him now to try to do a collab with you.
I would love that, man. Anything. I've made it a career. I've done lots of collaborations, and I've really enjoyed all of them. And laying down some harmonica. I just did some harmonica for Nunny Boy, who's in Voldo. And I did some collabs with Exorcism and Kelly Kintner and Godzilla Attacks Tokyo, Kamikaze Blues Band. We did a couple of songs together.
Oh, really? Yeah, I know pretty much all of those. Yeah, see, there you go, Mike. We already got another collab hooked up for you, man. You just get in contact with him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I would for one would be very interested to see what comes out of that. I mean, I've liked all the collabs so far, and yeah, it's all thanks to you, Sophie. Thanks for for hooking that up. So yeah, it was a pleasure having you on the show tonight. You're more than welcome to come back here anytime and be on the show. You just DM me and let me know whenever you want to get on it, and drop some stuff on. Even if you just want to come on and do a 5-minute spot and say, hey, I got a new song coming out or whatnot, and on Bandcamp if you guys want to check it out. And I'll make sure you get a link to this video as well as soon as it pops up. It takes a little bit of time to get from StreamYard to be posted into YouTube, and I might go back and see if it needs any editing. I don't think we will tonight because it went pretty smooth. Sometimes I got flopping internet and stuff like that, but we went pretty smooth tonight, and everything turned out great.
Well, I really appreciate you. I appreciate the opportunity to, share my stuff and chat with you and talk about stuff. I think what you're doing for the community is just amazing, and just keep on going, man, because this is really important work. We're all screaming in the ether, and you're really helping boost our voices.
Well, I wasn't going to mention it, but since you brought it up and was talking about it anyways, starting actually the 20th of January, the voting for the Indie Awards are coming up, and someone nominated me for Indie Media of the Year.
Ooh.
And I would appreciate if all of you get out and vote. I know Mike from Three Mind Blind, he's up for Vocalist of the Year. And
right on, man.
There's several people that are in our community that are nominated for those awards. And I'd appreciate every one of you if you just get out and vote. You don't have to vote for me, but just get out there and vote and show your support for all these indie artists that work so hard. And it's been an honor to work with all of you, to get to know you more on a personal level, and to hear some of the great music that you guys get to put out. And it's really my honor to share your guys' music with everybody else, to let them know how great your music is. We don't have a link yet, but if you pay attention to at 2019 Indies is the link for the people that are putting it on, and they're getting ready to announce how to do the voting on the 15th. I'm just letting everybody know, kind of keep it in their minds that it's coming up, because they're only going to do voting for a week from the 20th to the 27th, and the awards are going to be given out on Valentine's Day, along with they're doing an indie video that's being released that night as well.
That's
yes,
awesome.
please, everybody, just pay attention to me tweeting out, because I'm sure I'm going to be hitting that up every day until then, because I really want people to get out and support their favorite indie acts.
Tag a few of us too, and we'll boost it.
Absolutely, I'll make sure I get everybody tagged. And like I said, there's some very, very talented people, musicians, and other indie media. So if you want to vote for me, I would be honored. If not, there's other great media out there that is just as deserving, or maybe even better in someone's mind than what we got going on here. This show's kind of new. We've took our lumps. We're getting a little bit better. But I just wanted to give a shout out and to get people out to vote for that whenever it comes up. Again, thank you very much for being on the show. I really appreciate it. And anytime you need help with anything, you got any questions that maybe you think I might be able to answer, you got a song that you're getting ready to release and you need some extra push on it, don't be afraid to DM me, and I'll be more than happy to help you out.
That'd be awesome. I really appreciate that.
And if you can, get yourself up a merch site, even if it's just pictures of you signed or signs of your lyric sheets from where you've written music. People will buy them, and it'll just do more to bring attention to yourself as well. And
merch is coming. Merch is coming.
As soon as you get the merch up, you let me know, and I'll get it blasted out, and we'll awesome. get people getting on there and buying it. And again, thank you so very much for coming on. Is there anything else you'd like to tell the audience here before we end it here tonight?
I just want to say thank you to everybody for tuning in. I'm just really honored that you came out to watch, and I just want you all to be well and be kind to yourselves and others, and just have a great week.
All right. Well, you take care. You have a wonderful night, and like I said, anything you need, you just go ahead and DM me, and I'll make sure that I can do everything I can for you.
Thank you so much.
You have a great night.
Hey, you too, man.
All right, everybody. He was actually outstanding. I mean, I'd heard some of his stuff a little bit, but I was overly impressed with the performance that we got tonight, and the incorporation of all those different instruments. It's really great, and yeah, he is an exceptionally good dude, and I'm really glad that I got a chance to have him on and really get to know him a little bit better. I'm really happy at the turnout that we had tonight. Normally we don't get this kind of turnout for the live stream on a Sunday, but everybody turned out well tonight, we started off, and I had to have him put on the headphones at the beginning, but other than that, because actually I was echoing back through his mic like it used to do through mine, and don't have to thank me for having him on. He reached out to me, and it was my pleasure to have him on. Anytime he wants to be on, he can come on here. And like I said, I just like to go hang out at his house, have a beer, and listen to him jam out. I'd be perfectly cool with that. Mike, you hit him up, man, and see if you guys can't get a collab going out. I think that would be some very, very interesting stuff that you guys could come up with. And I, for one, would be standing in line waiting to hear it. So we'll go ahead and wrap up the stream tonight. Again, thank you all very much for coming out. Make sure you go out and hit the like button again. And then tomorrow night we have another show. We have People of the Parallel on tomorrow night. And if If you can come back and join us, it's again at 8:30 Central. We'll be happy to have you. Other than that, you all have a great night, and we will see you tomorrow.